OK, we just pat the soil around the plant like this. Oh, hello. Welcome to That's English.
Hi there. Annabelle is showing me how to plant heather.
Heather is a great plant because it's easy to grow. It doesn't mind the cold weather and, most important of all, it attracts bees.
Bees? Oh, I don't want bees in my garden.
Bees are very important for the environment. They spread pollen so that other plants can grow. Then those plants will attract more animals and we'll have more biodiversity in our gardens.
Our documentary today is all about biodiversity. The British government has introduced a programme to help protect wildlife. It's called the Environmental Stewardship Scheme.
In the documentary, you'll hear the word hedge, seto. Hedges are very important for wildlife, especially for birds.
While you watch, try to answer this question. What's the farmer's personal opinion of the scheme?
Let's watch.
Britain has always been known for its lovely green countryside. But due to its gradual industrialisation, many of the different animals living here have either died or gone somewhere else. Thankfully, things are changing. The government decided it needed to bring wildlife back to the countryside and to maintain and improve the landscape. So, in 2005, it introduced the Environmental Stewardship Scheme. Chris Skinner is the owner of High Ash Farm in the east of England. Until recently, he used to grow food here on a very large scale. But since his participation in the scheme, most of the farm is dedicated to growing crops that benefit local wildlife.
Our first step was to break up the large arable fields, which had been encouraged by hedge removal funded by the government in the 1960s and 70s. The scheme has enabled us to replant those hedges, and they're really stunning at the moment, only 4 or 5 years old, and already you can see a massive change in the wildlife here.
The objective of the scheme is to protect and develop the environment, the countryside, and all its natural wildlife. They want to encourage biodiversity so that a wide variety of plants and animals can live and grow here.
Instead of producing a crop of cereals and grains for human consumption, we're producing a crop of pollen and nectar for our endangered bee species. And the results are fantastic. Bumblebees all over the farm again, which were absent during the last 20 years.
The financial help from the government can be critical for many farmers.
Farmers just can't look after wildlife on this scale without some help from the government. It just wouldn't work financially.
Public support is also really important. So one of the key aims of the scheme is to educate the public about the countryside.
There are 2 miles of public footpaths here at the farm. All around the walks are put up information boards which people can see and understand what they're looking at, what they're actually seeing.
But is the public campaign really working? We asked some local walkers visiting the farm what they thought of the scheme.
The information on the board really helps you to understand how careful land use can help to save certain species.
A lot of damage has been done in the past, but this farm shows that it's not too late to save our wildlife.
Time will tell if we should have started this process earlier, but 70% of farmland in England is now under an environmental scheme.
As a professional farmer, I was producing 10 tonnes of wheat per hectare, which is quite an achievement. But since I entered the scheme, the challenge was even bigger, and I must say it's the best thing I've ever done.
It's good to know that people like Chris are doing all they can to protect creatures great or small. Because by saving them, they may just be saving us as well.
It's good that farmers like Chris are participating in the scheme.
Yes, not all farmers would agree to grow pollen and nectar instead of cereals.
The financial support from the government is an important factor. Did you get the answer to the question? What's the farmer's personal opinion of the scheme?
As a professional farmer, I was producing 10 tonnes of wheat per hectare, which is quite an achievement. But since I entered the scheme, the challenge was even bigger, and I must say it's the best thing I've ever done.
So the answer is, it's the best thing he's ever done.
I think the general public are now more interested in protecting the environment than in the past.
Yes, we're more aware of things like climate change, pollution, and the need for clean energy and recycling.
We asked our international friends, what environmental issues are people in your country concerned about? This is what they said.
I think clean air and energy conservation are probably the biggest. So I would say moving away from fuel as much as possible and moving into clean energy.
There has been a lot of overfishing along our coastlines, which has severely affected our natural wildlife around the ocean, which is a really important thing for New Zealanders because our nature is so important to us.
Mining is a big issue in Australia. It can be sometimes dangerous for the land around the areas that are being mined. Mining companies now have to pay a carbon tax as well for any emissions that they make.
I think one of the things with South Africa, and like the rest of the world, the climate is changing and there are a lot more droughts and they're seeing very high temperatures.
Pollution, that's one of the biggest environmental issues currently Indians are facing.
People now are more aware of the need to recycle, and it's become a lot easier to do that and to start separating your waste into different bins.
So, across the world, we share the same concerns. Climate change, a lack of clean air, too much fishing and mining, and waste.
There are so many environmental problems. I'd like to help, but I don't know where to start.
Well, planting heather, for example, helps. But there are other things we can do, as we'll see in today's episode of That's Britain.
Nigel visits Harrogate, a town in Yorkshire in the north of England. Harrogate has a large area of public land called the Stray that's protected by law.
Nigel also visits Harlow Carr Gardens, which runs courses in horticulture and preserving the environment.
You'll see all the different things they do with willow branches, ramas de sauce. They call it willow weaving.
As you watch, try and answer this question. Apart from willow weaving, what else can you learn at Harlow Carr Gardens?
Hello! Today I'm in Harrogate, the spa town of the north. Can you believe it? This is the centre of the town. This huge area of public land is called the Stray, and it's protected by law, which means that the environment here can't be changed. I'm here with local residents Trevor and Enid. Trevor, do many people come here to the Stray?
Yes, the Stray is very near the town centre. It's a wonderful area of open space. People walk through it to work on a morning, children play on it.
I see. And Enid, what other activities go on here?
Well, they do jogging and have barbecues and picnics, and the schools use it quite a lot too.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just outside Harrogate are the Harlow Carr Gardens, run by the Royal Horticultural Society. Harlow Carr offers lots of courses in plants, gardening, and in preserving the environment. Let's take a look around, shall we? I'm here in the kitchen garden with Sasha, who's one of the managers here at Harlow Carr. Sasha, why are places like Harlow Carr important to the environment?
Well, Harlow Carr is a lovely place to come and visit. to get out in the fresh air. So we want people to come and be inspired about everything that we do here, whether it's to do with actual gardening or actually what we do to help the environment, so helping the insects and the bird life and the wildlife with what we do in the garden. So it's a place to come and get ideas and perhaps take some ideas and use those back at home.
And what are the most popular courses that you offer here?
Well, people love to come and learn how to grow their own fruit and vegetables, but people also love to come and do willow weaving. So we have a lot of courses where they learn to create structures like this out of willow that can be used in the garden for plant support, but willow's great for making sculptures out of. So we have lots of fun sculptures around the garden, whether they're boxing hares. That's also used in our stream side to help the stream protect itself when we have flooding. So it's also an environmental tool that we use, willow.
Sounds perfect. Sasha, thanks very much.
Let's go back and have another look at the town of Harrogate. This very fine Victorian building is the Royal Hall Theatre. Not far from the theatre is somewhere very special. Betty's, Britain's most famous tea rooms.
I couldn't resist buying one of these delicious cakes. Next time, we're off to York. I'll see you there. Bye.
Oh, what a pretty town.
Yes, I'd love to live near a large open space like the Stray. I'd go jogging there and then I'd go and have a cake in Betty's tea rooms.
Harlow Car Gardens looks lovely too. I'd like to take a course in willow weaving. My garden would look fantastic with a willow structure.
And as we saw, planting willow is also good for the environment because it can protect the land against flooding, inundaciones.
And that's important in Britain because it rains a lot. Let's take a look at our question. Apart from willow weaving, what else can you learn at Harlow Car Gardens?
And what are the most popular courses that you offer here?
Well, people love to come and learn how to grow their own fruit and vegetables, but people also love to come and do willow weaving.
So the answer is you can learn how to grow your own fruit and vegetables.
What other things can you teach me about plants, Annabelle?
Well, plants like heather grow quite quickly, so you have to learn how to keep them healthy and attractive.
And how do I do that?
Well, you need these. First, you cut a bit there, and then you cut off a bit here. Oh, well, I guess it's time to say goodbye while we carry on with Ashley's lesson.
Yes, we hope you enjoyed the programme. See you next time. Bye-bye.
See you.